Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. I'm going to do it in a different colour. I'm going to use Pool Party and I'm going to use silver embossing powder. So to start with, the card pieces that you're going to need, I'm also going to give you the measurements in metric. I have been asked if I would do that. I've never learnt metric. I'm a lot more comfortable with inches, but I'm doing my best. I hope it's right. Let me know if there's any problems with it, please. Right, okay, so to start with, the card base is going to be 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. And then I have some silver foil, and that measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10 1/4 centimetres by 14 1/4 centimetres. And then I have another piece of Pool Party, which measures 3 7/8 inches by 5.5 inches, which is 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Then I have another piece of Pool Party, which measures 1.5 inches by 4 inches, which is 3 3/4 centimetres by 10 1/4 centimetres. Then I have some more silver foil, and that measures 1 5/8 inches by 4 inches, which is 4 1/4 centimetres by 10 1/4 centimetres. And a piece of Pool Party, which measures 2.5 inches by 3 inches, which works out to be 6 centimetres by 8 centimetres. I will put all the measurements on screen as usual. Right, so to start off with, I'm going to do the heat embossing, and I'm going to do this in 3 lots. The first lot is going to be on here, so I'm going to do the 2 lots of the lace here. I'm going to do these pieces and the happy birthday, and then the flower will be this one, and then the butterflies will be this bit. So I will start off by using my Embossing Buddy. When my problem obviously is lining things up, and to try and stamp that, and that's okay because I can just line it up against this edge, but to try and get that into here, it's a challenge for me, to say the least. So what I'm doing is, now let me see if I've measured this in centimetres as well. Yes, I did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure from this side here over 2 3/8 inches, which should be 6 centimetres. And then what I'm going to do is, so what did I say, 2 3/8? So that is there. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark, and then I'm going to come down here a bit and another 2 3/8. The thing is, I've got to get that correct, otherwise this is going to have too big a gap between the lace panels, or it's going to start covering up. And the other thing I need to be careful of is the happy birthday. I want to just put a pencil mark on the way up, and I think I said that was 1.5 inches. Yes, so I'm just going to put a little pencil mark 1.5 inches up. Now I'm not doing much because it's very difficult trying to erase pencil marks once you've actually done heat embossing. I know that. I've done it. Right, okay, so we're going to need the lace, the leafy bit, and the happy birthday. Now let me tell you which stamp sets these are coming from. This is the lace, and it comes from Grateful Bunch. We'll also be using the butterfly and also the flowers from here. And then the leafy part is from Rose Wonder, and I'm also using the Happy Birthday sentiment. So that's the 2 stamp sets I'm using today. Right, so first of all, where am I? I've lost all my pencil marks now. Right, so that's the right way up. So I'm going to do the first lace across there. Now this is easy because I'm just going to do it so that I'm lining that far edge there, that edge there, as close to that edge as I can, and then these points up here as close to that edge. Okay, so that's the easy one. Okay, so let's turn it around that way. I'll bring this down as close to me as possible. Okay, so that's down. Now for the next one, again I'm going to get this end as close up this side as possible, but I want to get this, in fact I know what, I'm going to just cover those 2 lines up because then it'll be heat embossed and we won't be able to see the marks then. Now that sounds like a good plan. Okay, just make sure they're sort of straight though. There we go. That looks quite promising. Right, now I do the first leaves, and what I'm going to do is try and get it as high up here as possible but without touching the lace. There is a stamp in the Grateful Bunch that's very similar to this that I could have used, but it's a lot taller and the spread of the leaves is a lot wider, which is why I've gone for this one. Right, now I'm got the tail on this, the bottom of the branch on this one, I'm just going to cross over with that one. Okay, so it's crossing over here, but I just made sure that my leaf is on the page. Okay, so that's that one. And now I'm going to do the sentiment. And again, I've got my pencil mark just there. So if I'm going to move up a bit because I can see, otherwise I'm going to collide with the leaves. That looks about straight for me. The nice thing about using VersaMark is that it does give you a bit of time to do more than one piece of stamping before it dries off. Right, so I'm using silver embossing powder. This would also make a nice wedding card, I think. Yep, that looks all right. Oops. Nearly tripped that one over. Rest that down there. Now I'm going to do these, and I'll do them both at the same time. So first of all, my Embossing Buddy. Right, first of all the butterfly. Sometimes it's useful when your VersaMark pad goes a bit dirty, because once you've when you stamp down, you can actually see what you've stamped, and it does make life a bit easier. So that's one butterfly. It doesn't, if your VersaMark pad does go a bit dirty, it doesn't affect the quality of your heat embossing. Although it might do if you were using clear embossing powder. Okay, so that's the 3 butterflies, and then I need the flowers. And when you do this one, if you stamp as close to this edge, and also to make that small flower up at the top, because that's the way the punch is set out. And the reason I say to get it over towards this edge is when you put the paper into the punch, you've got a bit over this side to hold on to. There we go. So let's get my sheet back. There we go. Looks as if I didn't do very well with my Dust Buddy there, does it? Well, I do have a paint brush here somewhere that I can use to brush the excess bits off. Either that, or I'll turn it over and do it again on the other side. Right, I know that I have the pen, oh, here it is. I was going to say I used the brush earlier on for something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is very carefully brush off from where I don't need the powder. So that should be alright. Okay, now let's get the, oops, that wasn't clever. Oh no, look what I've done. I've just dropped that brush on top of my leaf. I'm not going to bother about putting a bit more on there. I think it will more or less cover itself up. Let's find out. Okay, oops, look at that, I can see some more there as well. There we go. There we go. Now what should happen is when I put this piece onto my silver layer, whatever's happened to that, not that one, Why do things always go walkabouts? I say it should fit in there nicely, which it looks as if it's going to. Please tell me that this happens to you as well. Oh, here we go. I was going to say it can't be only me, I hope. Right, now what should be happening is that should line there. I've done this on quite a bit extra, but I can cut the end bit off, that's okay. And then that will fit in there. There we go. The gap down here is just a little bit, and there's a little bit down here as well. So that's just about right. The one thing that I didn't like about this is that I don't have gold showing through this inverted triangle bit. That was because I'd made a mistake on it, but hopefully I'm not going to do that today. We'll see, we're about to find out. Right, I'm going to do my inverted arrow, can't think what they call that, by using my punch. So make sure that goes right the way in like that. And there we go. I think I could do with that being a bit shorter. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's okay. Just making sure that it's not going to interfere with the happy birthday down there, and that's fine. So what I need to do now is put this one in. And because that's not going to fit right into the slots, I've got to judge that the gap on that side is the same as the gap on this side, which looks about right. Now if I've done that correctly, that'll be a nice gap all round. There we go. Now that's what I didn't do on my black and gold one, and I think that makes quite a lot of difference. And the other bit of punching is for this flower, and this is oh, what are we calling this? Blossom bunch punch. Nothing like a little bit of a tongue twister, is there? Right, so I'm going to pop this in here and then line all three flowers up. Which normally lines up really nice and easily. I think, like that. Yes, 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 oh that's good. Right, so it's just a question of assembling our card now. So I'm going to use Tombow. First of all, I'm putting my silver foil layer on first. There we go. And then I'm going to put this one on. Came off a bit too far there. I really like this pool party and silver together. There we go. So if I now pop this onto the silver foil. Right, let's do it from the bottom first. There we go. Now I just want to cut the top off of there. I can see my big scissors. There we go. So that gives me a little gap at the top there and little edging all around the top there. Okay. So that definitely looks a lot better than the black. And we'll use some dimensionals. Right, pop this down in between, trying to get it nice and even. Oops, what have I done there? Oh, it's just a cover. Right, that looks nice. And the flower. And I did that all with dimensionals. I just make these petals go in between the petals underneath. And then for this little one, if I've got any little bits of dimensional, I just cut off a small piece because one complete dimensional is just a bit too big. Preferably on the back of it. There we go. It's so sweet. And then I'm just going to put this over where the two branches of leaves cross over each other, and I'm just going to make sure that the petals don't come any further down than that. Otherwise I don't mind where it goes. Okay, so that is my card, and I have to say I really love it in Pool Party. So what do you think? Where's my black one gone? Here we go. You see what I mean about the difference having this little extra piece here? Well, I hope you like it. I hope you decide to give it a try. As I say, it'd be great as a wedding card as well as a birthday card. Oh, this was the one that actually set me on the road to doing this one. That was my first attempt. And then I was fiddling about with die cuts and everything here. But I went on to this one. I was really pleased. So there we go. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm always very happy to help. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click on the 24/7 link that's in the details below, and that'll take you to my online Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks. Oh, and also if you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And finally, to remind you that celebration is still on up until 31st of March. So any goods that if you place an order for £45 or more, you will be able to choose a free product from the celebration catalogue. Great time to be buying. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio!